This is Michael Ray Newman. I am here with the one and only, the famous. I'm going to change that. You're going to be the famous from now on. The famous. Edwin's the one and only.
Oh.
You are the famous Lee Barnes here in Dallas, Texas at the Sheridan on the Inside Edge podcast. Lee, thank you for having me today. We just finished day one. Give us a recap. I can't believe you're still going.
I know.
The ever
I'm
ready
ready.
bunny is for sure her. She is.
I don't know. You should meet my 80-year-old dad.
Yeah,
He drives that tractor the minute I get home in Tennessee. And boy, I get there and he's just like, I got to go cut the grass.
he's always working.
He's always working.
Yeah, for people who are just listening and not watching, her voice says it all for how much she's been going today.
That's right.
This is 2 days.
Kevin E., the Monster Millennial's with us as usual.
Yay,
Kevin
love
setting up. He's got some
Kevin.
really good plans here. We use this podcast initially. I was using it for marketing material, for brand alignment. So we want what you see on social media, what you see on Facebook, what you see on Instagram, what you see on LinkedIn, what you see on our website. We want it all to match, right? Same thing with the podcast. So what the podcast has turned into is turned into being very impactful. We've gotten a lot of really good feedback on it, and people really listen because it makes a difference. And that's what you're about. I mean, your servant leadership, when you said that to me, it's why we kind of aligned. You pulled that from me 3 years ago
We're
now.
gonna leave
It's
a
been a
legacy.
while. Yeah, that's
Lots
right.
of
Let's talk about
legacies.
designing a life and leaving a legacy. It's true. So tell me about today. What's going on? What's it all about?
Goodness, where do we start? I had
We're partnering
so
up.
many. You're not partnering up.
We're partnered up
We're
with a
just
couple of
some
events.
Boom out
I'm
there.
proud.
We're
so-
gonna do
proud of
it.
So that's
But-
official. You guys announced
We
that.
are-
You know,
It's
it's
fine.
official live
Right here
Sweet.
on the podcast. We're partnered up for a couple of events. It's going to be fun.
And you know the neat thing, the minute you meet somebody, you feel the charisma. The minute we met, I told my daughter.
I remember
she was
exactly
with
where it
me,
was down there.
And I said, I'm going to do business with that man. I don't know what, don't know when, don't know where, but I'm going to make sure we're going to do business together.
That's
and
awesome.
she laughed. I go, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It took me a couple of years, but we did it. And
Yeah.
this will be our first venture. But I've always asked, a great sign of a leader when they don't ask for money, they do it from the heart. And for somebody like you to fly in from Indy, huge trip there, got off a plane, literally, thank God I was close to the airport.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Where
We were
we
that
were
close.
at. And I said, well, it's a good thing. He said, I'll fly in, I'll meet the DJ team. We're going to do something with Kevin. And I said, oh, you're going to come right in from the airport. And this is a man that's
what we
got
do.
kids.
Right.
How many employees? 2,000 employees, you told me one time.
We have one of my companies is a labor company, and we have 2,500 employees. Yeah.
So do you just not want to sleep ever?
Oh,
is,
no,
that,
man.
is that the goal in
I got
life?
really good people, and this is one of the
About
things that this is
systems.
one of our procedures, the process we have in place, because you know this better than anybody. You don't build a business, you build people, and the people build a business. Edwin asked me probably about a year ago, so what makes you a good leader? I was like, man, that's a really good question. I have no idea. I said, I'll tell you what I do. I do set people up to be successful. I give them the best. I give them the best tools, the nicest track to run on, give them the best shoes to run with, and then set them up for success. And that's exactly the reason we are partnering up, because of these, my little 7-step edge, right? And you
love
already
it.
had something
I love
kind
it.
of similar, but your systems you have in place, I call it procedures, in our procedures manual and our trust process. It's integrity based, and there are other ones out there. I'm not saying
Yeah,
don't go
but
get them.
I'm in love with the trust.
I know. I'm
The
glad.
trust is
Me
my
too.
friend.
That is
my favorite.
And that's what we say. When we say this,
I love
find
it.
something that you can align with,
Yeah.
that you believe in and matches your integrity, and that's what trust does for us. Think,
And
plan,
all
and prepare.
business owners are like that. Most business owners, we end up, you fall in love with people that work with you. And when I've always asked Michael to, hey, come on out and do this event, being in business for my first company was around 14 years old. And I've now built, this will be my 8th company. Had 2 really bad crashes.
Yeah,
in
we've all
there.
been there.
A little bit of breast cancer in there. So I always say I'm a
You're
fighter.
survivor's fighter.
But the one thing I look back on is I would never take for granted the hard times. I don't know why. They made the character.
That's right.
It's like those beautiful wood pieces you see at an Art Deco place, and they bang the heck out of that thing and slice that thing apart, and they charge it that $8,000 for a table. What's the beauty of the character of the wood?
Right.
And I used to not respect that. Now, give me the oldest man in the room that looks like he is just there and he's checking us out. I want to learn. And I just wish I had had that when I was a younger entrepreneur.
That's what
Instead we
you're
had
giving
to
back
be
now.
hard-headed.
Oh, yeah.
We had to
Hey,
learn it the wrong
that table you're talking about, that's what my body looks like. The scars. I've got
I
the
got some
scars.
scars on that, too.
I got the scars to prove it, brother.
And you know what, though? You really think back. I remember you said something incredible in our meeting today. And he said, I'm going to be successful. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And there was a video. I have it. I'm going to find it.
All right.
I had just graduated. I was 17 years old. Little small school in Memphis, Tennessee.
I wanna see that video.
And I'm walking in with this cute little peach dress. I got curly blonde hair. And my mom and my dad and my aunts and uncles are all in the kitchen, this little old kitchen in Memphis. And I'll never forget my uncle's videoing. You know, back then you had the camera.
Oh, yeah, he's holding that video camera?
It was like the
Had
camera.
to change it over his shoulders.
It was so heavy.
Come on,
so he's
Kevin.
A
holding
little
this-
more elaborate than what we're working with now.
They're
Yeah.
huge. And I got it on video, and I found it. He says, "What are you going to do, Lee?" And I said, "I'm going to go change the world, and I'm going to make my first $1 million by blah, blah." And I told it.
And you did it.
And I look back, I'd never thought about that video
spoke
until
it.
today.
Wow,
I
that's
go,
good.
I'm bringing that video out because so many of us sit there and we go, and you know, Mike, I'm like you, came from humble beginnings. My parents struggled every minute to do their own thing. Mom had a dad that was a farmer that killed mules for the zoo. Memphis Zoo, so it was embarrassing as a kid. But my mom was hard-headed as all get out, moved out at 16. You know, married my daddy, left him at the altar.
Oh.
He's a hard-headed man. And dad was a fighting pilot. He
That's
flew
what you
with-
have. That's what happens
Bud
when you have a lead.
Davis.
It's how to have a lead. to get those
Yeah,
things.
you got to have some Leisms.
I just want to find a way to splice that video into this episode. So if we can get that, I'll make it happen.
But I will tell you, the funniest part of that is I saw my parents really be savers, and I saw them be givers. And I'll never forget a moment in my life when, as a kid, and you can remember those moments. You always go back. There was a moment in your life where something happened that affected you.
absolutely.
I had to have been 11 or 12. But Mom and Dad, we weren't big going out to eat dinner. You know, dinners were expensive or restaurants. And Mom and Dad took us out. They go, we want to do something special. Didn't know Dad had made a little paycheck on a flying deal. You know, flew some boys out to New Orleans, brought them back, and it was some guys with Bud Davis, some of the guys with the Elvis group,
Oh,
the
wow.
singers.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
he was a cargo guy, and he took those guys. And we get back, and he said, we want to take y'all out. We had Chinese food. They bought us the poo-poo tray. You remember the poo-poo tray? All the variety of all the...
Yeah, it's like the platter with everything. Love that.
Kevin's
Everything
like,
on it.
what is
Yeah.
a poo-poo tray?
No, he knows. He's like, I love that.
We are- and we were young.
Absolutely.
Me and my sister sat there, and Mom and Dad, we want to do something special. We want to take you shopping. They took us to Target, and I got the prettiest purple velour two-piece jumpsuit. Oh, I thought I was the hottest queen in town. My sister got pink, and then they go, guess what? We're going to take you to get ice cream. Who wants a sundae? I looked at them in the back of that old Pontiac, and I said, Mom, Dad, this is the best day of my life. And you think of that moment as a little kid, and my sister, we were like, what are they doing? They're spending money because they came from,
Yeah.
tough
Hold it.
beginnings.
You never know.
Sure.
And I'll never forget that. So I remember when I started out, I never wanted to be broke. So I would clean toilets. I started at 8 years old. Mom said, I said, I want to make money. I'm going to buy a house at 16. She goes, well, you need to make some money. I said, I'll go clean toilets. She said, go clean toilets, knock on all these doors. They'll all pay you. Sure enough, every one of them did. And I got $20, and I just work, and I had all this money. And then somebody came into a fabric store I was working in, and they
Had all
wanted to
this
make
money.
something.
$20,
I was in $20.
Hey, you're up all his money.
Well, I went from toilet cleaning,
Yeah.
decided I need to upgrade,
Yeah.
got a little part-time job at a fabric store. And what happened to that was the owners trusted me. They fell in love with the fact I could sell. They
Right.
fell in love. And some people have that innate. Some people have to learn those skills.
To learn skills a lot
Today,
of
I
times.
learned so much from watching you on stage. And what do we have? Chaz
Appreciate
Wilson.
that.
We have
Yeah,
Jens
Chaz,
Johnson.
Rich.
Gosh, who else spoke today?
And another big day tomorrow.
Oh, my gosh. We got Bruce Carter with,
Yep.
he got the award from the Obama administration.
Got Edwin Britt coming back.
Edwin Brick. Oh, I can't
Edwin
wait to-
Brick,
I
you
want
gonna be good?
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I love you, but I like Edwin.
What?
I got to hear my
As long
Edwin.
as you like, Edwin looks at him. Edwin goes,
Oh, man.
I love you, but Edwin,
No
what?
name.
Look at him over there. He's like, what? I heard my name.
But I look back at all those memories. It puts something in your mind. I never, ever wanted to struggle. So I wanted my first house. So I got my first house at 18. I paid for my first car at 16. I mean, I was on a track. So was my parents responsible for that? No. It was innate. But I think parents put borders around kids with vision.
And put 'em in
and
these
it's
boxes,
a mission
yeah.
in my life to why put somebody through school? I'm dyslexic. I'm not that great at typing. I hate typing. But I love systems, but I desired them, but they were so expensive. And I think between what we're coming up with and some of the technology,
we're going to kill it.
We're going to kill it. And
gonna
you're going to
crush
come
it.
back and go, where in the heck is the edge? And I want to see this.
We're going to make the
We're going to
difference.
see the edge,
That's
Chloe.
right. You said something just
I
then
love
that
it.
really stuck with me. You said some people just have it within them, right? There's 3 types of motivation.
That's
There's
right.
fear motivation. You go to work or you get fired, lose your paycheck, right? That's fear.
That's scary.
And that works for a little bit, and it's has its place sometimes. And then there's incentive motivation. That's when, you got the carrot and the donkey. The donkey's chasing
I
that
do like
carrot.
carrots.
Yeah, I know. See, that's
I
what
like
I'm saying.
prizes,
And I like to win. And
I like to
everything.
win.
But what happens eventually? The donkey gets full, and you can
That's
only
true.
get so many things. So many material things. That's why you have athletes, football programs, basketball. They don't 5-peat and go see. They don't win all the time. They get tired. They just
get
get
tired of
tired.
winning.
I've done it. What else is next? What's next? But then there's something you can't teach. It's innate. And I think that you can light
point.
that fire into people, and that's what I think you've done. I mean, that's what I think you do here, and you've done the last 3 years when you've drug me in here.
Graciously asked a favor.
No, that's what you do. You light a fire in people, and they don't even know they have it yet. And that's in a lot of us. That can be taught. You can bring those things out. And I think that's what you are serving and how you're doing it and the way you're doing it. Because Mr. Ziegler said it best, right? You're helping other people get what they want. You get what you want.
everything you
And that's
want.
what you've done. And I really want to appreciate you hanging out with me and letting me hang out with you.
Man, I'm so
And
thankful
my whole
and
team,
blessed.
my Kevin,
Yes,
my
me
Monster
too.
Millennial,
Kevin is a
Edwin,
blast.
Michelle. We got all these
Love
great
Rebecca.
players.
And where's Edwin?
Yep.
He's hanging out
He's
over
hanging
there.
out over there.
We need him.
Rebecca's right
Rebecca's
here.
live. Hey, guys.
So we've had such a great time, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come in and be in our little podcast.
Thank you.
Yep. Go to.
Thank you, Lee.
Hey, go to
The big man.
There he is.
Woo! And tomorrow is his day. I cannot wait.
That's right. Go to Inside Edge, InsideEdgeInc.com. Go to Michael Ray Newman on Facebook. Go to Inside Edge on Facebook. Go to KEPX.
At
on
KPX Live, you can find us anywhere
We are
on social
launching
media.
our podcast, and it'll be let's see, January next Wednesday. What is it?
And
What's next Wednesday?
16th?
16th. January 16th.
I've been itching to get this thing
gonna be
launched
on-
too,
I
man.
love Kevin.
It's going to be on iTunes.
Oh,
It's
thank
going
you.
to be on Stitcher. Oh, and he used to be a DJ on KBL
I know,
Eagle.
he's so
yeah,
sexy.
He's good.
I
Yeah.
just gotta get
Oh,
finished.
nice.
It's a good ego booster.
I know. Well,
So, thanks.
you don't have much to compare to today. I'm surprised I have a voice.
Shots fired.
That is bad. But yours is
No,
great
it sounds
and
good. It makes it
sexy.
very unique. It's going to be great.
It's as exciting. Yeah,
Big
you
old
doing our
southern redneck
podcast is
voice
great.
that loves people. I don't know.
Yep.
But I-
Watch us on
Michael,
our
thank
YouTube
you.
channel. Thank you so much. Tomorrow's
Oh,
going to be
man.
awesome. I'm so
Love
glad we're
this guy.
partnering together.
Bye-bye. Thanks, guys.